Finally, and I do mean finally, we stand in front of the announcement room. Miss President and I exchange a glance. Then, I summon all of my courage and throw the door open. I'm expecting to see the fake Teddy, or should I say my shadow, in the room. This is the only one in here!
Yosuke-senpai!
Are you alright? Where's the shadow?
You mean the fake Teddy? He hasn't come back at all. I sense this weird presence, but I don't know what it is.
Rise looks around nervously. I look around too. I haven't been in the announcement room that often, but I can tell that this isn't anything like the real one. The room is huge with monitors everywhere, not to mention the giant window taking up an entire wall with a crazy view outside. Yeah, this is Crazy Town alright. What's this weird presence that Rise's talking about?
What are you freaking out about? This is your chance to save a pretty girl and become a hero, right, Yosuke?
Oh, crud, it's him.
Huh?
That's Yosuke-kun's voice.
I slowly turn in the voice's direction. There was no one there a second ago, but now suddenly there is, and he has my face. His inhuman gold eyes narrow in a taunting way. Looks like I was right.
Hey there, Yosuke.
Oh gosh, it's him.
Yosuke-senpai's shadow?
Man, this isn't getting any easier. But at least I can confront him without freaking out like I did last year.
I thought you merged back with me. I'll come out anytime you start ignoring me. I'm always watching you. I am you after all.
This is a shadow?
Yeah, that's right. You're me. You're the weakness in my heart. I admit it. Now get back here.
I blurt it out before I have any time to get second thoughts. This should do it. Then the shadow starts laughing instead.
Not bad, but that's exactly what I mean by ignoring me. You haven't changed at all since then. You just cover up whatever you don't want to see and paper over it. That's why I've returned. I'm not your persona anymore. Don't tell me.
Hold on a sec. Does that mean? Forget logic. It's faster just to try it. My nervous voice fills the announcement room, and that's it. My persona, Jiraiya, doesn't appear. Instead, the shadow begins laughing even harder.
No way.
So you really are?
To be honest, I was still doubtful. I had hoped that he wasn't my shadow. I mean, of course I didn't want to believe this Grand Prix is for me, that I wasn't having fun. My shadow was right. All I was doing was ignoring the problem. My fists clenched, my knees locked, my entire body shakes.
Because I was weak? Is that why everyone got dragged into it? Yep. Because I wanted a crisis to solve again. Because the case ended and I was bored? You got it. I'm sure you understand without me having to tell you. I couldn't save Saki-senpai. I didn't want to ever lose someone again, but I still wished for this.
I was proud that Inaba was peaceful, and I thought that I could finally be proud of putting Saki-senpai's death behind me. And yet, was I really faking all of that? In the end, am I just a loser who puts his own boredom over the death of a loved one?
Senpai.
I could hear the quivering in Rise's voice. No, this isn't true. Don't look at me. This isn't me.
It was all your desire. Trust me, I know. I am you after all.
I can feel myself ready to fall to my knees. I can't use my persona anymore. I thought I had changed. And now I've literally lost everything. I have to accept it. My mind knew what to do, but my heart still raged against it. Even before I knew what I was saying, the words were flying from my mouth.
Not.
Oh, Senpai, look at me.
I lift my eyes to look at Rise. There she was, with Miss President standing next to her. It was tough seeing the looks on their faces. I look away quickly, but Rise scolds me.
No matter what weaknesses you might have, we'll never stop liking you. So please, don't deny who you are.
Why'd you have to get in the way?
Here, I finally got in touch with the others. Listen to them.
Rise closes her eyes and folds her hands as if in prayer. I see the elegant shape of her persona appear behind her. That instant, voices pour into my head. These are...
Moron, what are you saying? Who do you think we are?
Yosuke-kun, we heard everything, but there's nothing for you to be afraid of.
don't really get what's going on, but if it's gonna keep showing up, you just gotta beat the crap out of it every time.
We're all with you, Yosuke. You can rely on me too, you know.
Anyone can fall prey to the same troubles and insecurities. It's not just you, Senpai. It's true for all of us.
Everyone. My vision suddenly clears. I didn't even realize that I was squeezing my eyes shut.
Naoto? How come you're here?
That's well...
Who cares why? There's more important stuff at stake here.
And after Chie, the clearest voice of all.
You won the battle against yourself back then, but you can't do it this time? Yosuke, believe in us.
When I hear my partner's voice, I draw a ragged breath. I take deep breaths, not noticing until now just how much I had tensed up in the last few moments. Rise, the bringer of these voices, turns to me. From the smile on her face, I know that she expects me to feel better now. And even though she has to be scared right now, she cares enough to smile for me when I'm feeling down. That's right. I finally realized the simplest truth. The biggest difference between the person I was last year and the person I am now. Now I have friends that accept me, even when I doubt myself. How could I not believe in myself? How could I be too weak to stand up? They're all believing in me. I'm not alone. Not anymore.
Such an idiot, aren't I? A grade A moron.
I raise my head and look straight at my shadow. Any trace of fear I had is completely gone.
I thought I overcame my weakness and I was done with it for good. Dude, how naive was that, right? What? I'm weak. I'll probably always be weak. But that doesn't mean I need to run away. I'll keep fighting my weakness. And I'll do it as many times as it takes, even if that never stops.
My heart was calm. I was conflicted just a moment ago, but now everything has been made clear. They believe in me. In knowing that, I feel their faith in me pushing me forward. I can feel the power surging in me. The force filling my spirit causes me to shout out.
Come, Persona!
Okay, so now we have to fight Shadow Yosuke, and I gotta say this right now, he's probably my favorite of the Shadow, like my favorite version of each Shadow, just because, I don't know, just hearing, gosh dang, Yuri Lowenthal, who's the, who doesn't only just voice Yosuke, but he voices Ben 10 in Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, and Omniverse, and he also voices PS4 Spider-Man. But the thing is, just hearing, gosh dang, Ben 10 being like the person who voices Ben 10 being like, hey, maybe you could be a hero and all that. I don't know. That just kind of makes Shadow Yosuke my favorite of them. I don't know. He's such a jerk that you just, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, he's almost done. So let's just do this and get him, Jiraiya.
Let's do this!
Honestly, that should not have hit, but anyway. He's down!
Did it!
I love his defeated look.
You did it, Senpai! That was awesome!
I let Rise's adulation wash over me. But there's something bugging me. Something that could be really bad for me.
Conversation with my shadow. Did you?
I hijacked the school PA system.
I knew it. Everyone had been backing me up because they'd been hearing everything I had said leading up to it.
You saw my shadow last time, and now everyone got to listen in? Ah, so lame.
That's not true. You were really cool, Senpai.
Thanks.
Miss President looks like she's having trouble finding words for this. Dang, she's horrified by me. I can't blame her. She was left out of the picture. Well, explaining it to her can wait. I need to do something about my shadow. When I turn around, my shadow isn't there.
Where did he go? If he disappears, won't my persona... Wait.
Something's not right. I used my persona during that fight. But my persona's my shadow. So if my shadow's left me now, how could I have used my persona? As I'm struggling with that, Rise speaks up.
Something's not right.
Her voice is firm. Did she just think of the same conundrum that I did? No, that's not all. There's an eerie presence all around. Even I can feel it. It must be hitting Rise like a jolt of electricity. I can't let my guard down yet.
Rise, Miss President, stay close to...
Right at that moment, the lights go out and darkness covers the room.
What the hell?
I can't believe you've made it this far. They repeatedly suffered the pain of fighting their friends, but they still didn't lose heart.
The lights come back on. When they do, the fake Teddy is standing there. Why is it looking like that now? Wait, was it the one talking in that weird voice? Fake Teddy ignores me and looks at Miss President.
I can understand you after all. What a shame.
Who are you?
Then you weren't my shadow?
I want to make people fight. I especially want friends to fight against each other. Then maybe they'll understand how I feel. That was your wish, wasn't it?
What are you saying?
What does it mean? This was my wish. And what's with that voice? Wait a minute. It's not talking to me. Then you mean...
Senpai, get back! The shadow's reacting to Miss President! It was really her shadow!
What?
I can feel my brain cracking open like a dropped watermelon. That's Miss President's shadow. But it just said it was my shadow. But now that I think about it, this General Teddy has always been hostile to her ever since we met outside the school. That would explain Rise's voice on the PA system too. Duh! If a normal person's in here long enough, of course her shadow's gonna split away from her. I should have known that. After all, that's exactly what kept happening last year. Miss President just looks so healthy that it never occurred to me. This is just... As if to mock my astonishment, the shadow keeps talking in General Teddy's shape.
I did exactly what you wished. So, how did that work out for you? They still couldn't understand you. No one can really understand how we feel, can they? Come on. How much longer are you going to keep deceiving yourself? Didn't you hear them say you shouldn't ignore who you are? Here, I'll show you your reality.
With that sound, the enemy finally shows its real...
I am a shadow. The true self. That's my face.
But that's the same. Even though her shadow has the same face, her body is wrapped in metal. Miss President screams at what appears to be something from a sci-fi flick.
You must remember now.
No, I'm not like that!
No, Miss President, calm down. A shadow doesn't just take on your appearance. You look like a twisted version of you to agitate you even more.
No, no!
I try calming her down, but my words aren't reaching her. She just keeps shaking her head in denial. I try calming her down, but my words aren't reaching her. She just keeps shaking her head in denial. What's going on here? Shadows are things that exemplify what their originals want to be. I've never heard of them transforming into other people. The shadow sees my confusion and smiles.
It's an illusion.
Huh?
It's an illusion. Isn't that what you thought when you fought your friends? Your senses were being deceived, warping what you saw, twisting what you heard.
That's how you made my senpai fight each other. Is that your power?
Not just mine. It's actually our power. Isn't that so? me.
Our? What is she saying?
I'm not like you. I'm human.
Miss President crouches down and says the words that are always bad. With that, the shadow smile grows even more menacing and it snaps its fingers again. At that moment, something like TV static flashes across my eyes. I rub my eyes. The static doesn't cover my entire field of view, but slowly begins to focus around the President. When it clears, Miss President has changed. Metallic limbs stretch from her uniform. Something metallic, like wings, unfurl from her back. There's no doubt she's the same as the shadow standing in front of us. She cries out and tries to cover her ears. But when she does, the sound of metal grinding against metal accompanies her movements. I see myself reflected in the shiny metal of her fingers.
Robot.
So that means the shadow isn't some fancy fantasy version. That's her true self. So Miss President was the one trying to look like a human.
No! I'm human! You still believe that about yourself? No human can do that. And you know it.
The shadow points at me, and I'm at a loss for words. I look around, but in the end, my eyes meet hers. We both fall silent. In those few seconds, I can feel a deep rift growing between us.
No, don't get me wrong. I was just a little surprised.
I'm human!
Wait, I'm sorry,
Suddenly, there's an explosion so loud that I think my eardrums are blown out. The smoke makes me cough and my eyes tear up. I manage to focus and see a hole in the wall. I can barely see through the smoke, but I see the hallway on the other side. Eventually, the smoke clears and a shape steps through the hole.
What the? I didn't sense anything until now.
It was a girl! Blonde hair, blue, crystal-like eyes, but there are metallic sounds as she walks.
So this is where you were.
another robot girl?
It's another girl with a mechanical body, just like the Shadow and Miss President. She looks at the trembling president and calls out.
You must remember, that is the only way the future will open up to you. You must accept it, no matter how painful it may be. Your true name is 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris.
Labris? Weapon? What? What is going on here? When the new girl says Labris, Miss President opens her mouth,
My
trembling.
name is Labris. Labris.
In that instant, her pale face flushes with comprehension. She looks down at her mechanical limbs and her face twists into a bitter expression. In the meantime, the Shadow glares at the other robot girl.
Don't tell me you're...
Yes, I am the 7th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Aigis. I am the model that came after you.
Huh. So you're here to seize her. Well, I won't let you. I'm sick of that place. I'm going to be free. Isn't that right, me? Won't that be better than letting the Kiricho group capture you again? Kiricho. Capture?
President blankly repeats the Shadow's words. She turns to me, her eyes filled with desperation.
I wasn't human?
I should answer her, and I try, but nothing comes out of my mouth. In that moment, I can feel our fates ripping apart.
I will take my freedom!
The Shadow's arm suddenly shoots out across the room. It's connected to her by a long chain, and it misses Miss President Labris in it. The chain reels in, like it was connected to a winch dragging her along. The Shadow grabs Labris and lifts her onto its shoulders. In the next moment, the Shadow bursts out of the announcement room. That was fast! I can't believe she's carrying twice her own weight!
Wait!
The other robot, Aigis, follows right behind. That just leaves Rise and me, and a whole lot of questions. What the heck am I supposed to do now? The student council president isn't a human, but some kind of weapon? And there's another robot girl?
Ow!
Something smacks me in the back. It's Rise. She's staring at me with flushed cheeks.
Senpai, aren't you gonna go after them?
After them? Yeah, why am I spacing out? Of course I can't just let this stuff end like this. So what if she's not human? So what if she's not what I imagined? She believed in me. She trusted me. And yet I completely failed her. I'm not gonna let it end now. Not a chance in heck.
Thanks, Rise.
She didn't get to be a celebrity for nothing. She's really got some guts. It sure is great to have friends to urge you on.
You up from here. Good luck.
I nod with determination. I leave Rise alone in the announcement room and run out the hole in the wall. I can't match their speed, but I know where they're going. When the shadow left the room, she turned toward the stairway. If she was going to head downwards, it'd be faster to make for the fire escape in the other direction. So while isn't a whole lot to go on, I think I can guess where they're going. To the roof! As I huff and puff and blow the house down, not really, my way up the stairs, I see that the door to the roof is open, just as I thought. When I get there, I didn't see what I expected to. It took my breath away. It looks like a studio, like that place. This is the entrance to this world we used up until this spring. It went away after we solved the mystery last year, but it must have come back when Lapras entered the TV and created the school. I guess that when everybody saw the Midnight Channel, they all became interested in it last time. That's why it looks exactly the same. In the middle of the area, Aigis and the Shadow still carrying Lapras are at a standoff. Lapras is silent. She looks conscious, but her eyes are empty, as if she'd given up trying to understand anything. The Shadow smiles when she sees me and snaps her fingers. Suddenly the area is enveloped with a strange presence.
What? The Grand Prix isn't over yet. If you want to chase me, you'd better fight each other.
Hey, wait!
I try to chase after the Shadow, but run into another invisible wall. This crud again! The Shadow disappears back into the school building. Dang it! It looks like I just helped her buy more time. The Grand Prix isn't over. Don't tell me I've got to fight more to keep going. So now I have to fight this robot Aigis. I timidly ask her. Heck, I don't know anything about her other than her name. First I need to find out what the heck she's doing here.
Is it true you came to capture her?
You're Captain Ressentiment. Yosuke Hanamura, correct?
She knows me? And she knows about the Ressentiment part. Someone kill me.
I saw you in the video advertising this tournament. The one showing the people currently in this world.
Did you now?
Still, Ressentiment, huh? Still really ticks me off. But to be honest, it's not that far from the truth.
Normally, I would recommend that you evacuate at once. But neither of us can leave. I must go after her.
What a coincidence. Me too.
But this has nothing to do with you.
I may not have meant to, but I hurt that girl. She was depending on me, and I turned my back on her.
Not a human? A robot? So what? That's what I had wanted to say to her, but I couldn't. That's why.
I need to go and apologize.
When I say that, Aigis' expression relaxes. It's a really natural expression. Very human-like. Lapras' face was like that too.
I think I should explain certain things to you. I'm not authorized to disclose everything, but...
She slowly begins to speak. Apparently, there were incidents involving shadows and personas outside Inaba too. They didn't start recently either. But they made an unofficial squad to deal with stuff like that, and Aigis belongs to that group. She's a weapon created solely to fight shadows. She was given a soul so that she could summon a persona, the only method of dealing with shadows. Miss Lapras was a prototype, but she went AWOL. Holy dump. I mean, after last year, I'm ready for any kind of crazy story, but this still takes me by surprise. Of course, it's not all that hard to believe when one of the robot girls is standing right here in front of me, but still.
There are shadows outside the TV too?
We would never have realized that a television could lead to a space like this.
Well, I'm surprised by what you just told me, so I guess we're even.
tried joking and smiling, but Aigis didn't smile back. She looked straight at me. Her eyes are filled with strength. I can tell that she's measuring me up. Come to think of it, Labras looked at me the same way when we first met. I remember thinking, man, those eyes.
Please tell me, what's going to happen to Labras once you catch her?
I cannot answer that.
Aigis hesitates before answering, like she has to squeeze it out of her throat. That pause says more to me than her words.
If you have no other questions, then let us begin the battle. There isn't any time to spare. Please don't resist. I can knock you out painlessly if you comply.
Yikes. But hey, I can't back down.
I act cocky, so that I won't get scared. When I smile, I know that I can't just let her beat me.
Are you really going to fight a living weapon like myself? I do not mean to boast, but your chances of success are low.
I'm still a guy. And guys should help out crying girls, right?
For some reason, this brings a smile to her face. Then, I had a thought. Was she trying to scare me to keep me from getting into something dangerous? Perhaps this is her way of trying to be kind to me. Well, if it is, it's not gonna work. I'll never forgive myself if I was sent home now. I'd lose something important to me. I've already made my decision. Maybe Aigis sensed that resolution in me, because she takes a fighting stance.
I understand. I accept your challenge. Here I come.